Well, today, each member of the Senate Judiciary Committee gave an opening statement, as did Judge Jackson.
And our chief legal correspondent, Seema Iyer, was there observing every minute. Seema, we heard from her. We also heard, obviously, from people kind of laying out what we can expect. Did it give you a better understanding as to who she was? I know we heard even about the origination of her name, but did it kind of give you more preparation as to what we can expect for tomorrow?
It did. It was really illuminating, and for me personally, it was kind of emotional when, after all the senators spoke, she spoke, and she told everyone, she started off by saying she is a woman of faith. And I think that really spoke to the entire committee. And then she went on to talk about her family, her immediate family, but she also told us so much about how she grew up in Miami. Her parents were public school teachers. They moved to D.C., but then her dad, who gave her that love of the law, decided to go to law school after he already had a family. They go back to Miami. They lived on campus. I just couldn't even imagine this. And the mom ends up working, I guess, one or two jobs, basically became the main breadwinner of the household. It was really, really compelling story. But what you're going to hear tomorrow with the questioning, I want you to think of three buckets when you think of her career. She was a federal defender. She was also a federal judge, as you all know, but she was also on the Federal Sentencing Commission. So all those questions are going to be designed in those three buckets. What you should know as well is that she has more trial judge experience than anyone on the court. And this is the very first federal public defender, or I should say public defender, ever to be nominated to the Supreme Court. The only one who came close was 30 years ago, Thurgood Marshall, had significant criminal defense experience. So just to break it down a little further, how rare this is, only 1% of federal appellate judges were at least spent the majority of their careers as public defenders, and only 8% of federal judges have any former public defender experience. So guys, it's really rare. The other thing you're also going to hear about, you're going to hear her answer questions about how she feels on expanding the court. This is another big issue. And then finally, this was thrown around a little today, and I didn't completely get it, about her judicial philosophy. Like, she has come out and said she didn't have one, so I think she's going to be attacked for that, and I don't know where that is exactly going. I think she's going to try to say that she is open, but they're going to pin her down.
But yeah, and as we saw with the prior confirmation hearings, whether it was especially with Brett Kavanaugh, they don't want to see that something like that happen. But Senator Lindsey Graham made an opening statement. We saw a little bit of that in this story we just saw before you come on here. But did a lot of it, what he said, did go viral? But what he did say, did it lead its way to saying where he might be leaning on all this?
Let me tell you, I think Lindsey Graham is auditioning for SNL this weekend, because when you talk about Brett Kavanaugh, he said that during the Brett Kavanaugh hearings, they were accusing Brett Kavanaugh of being Bill Cosby. But now, the great thing that Lindsey Graham did, and this is what everyone did, it was a bipartisan welcoming of the first black woman to ever be nominated. Nobody has an issue with that. Everyone was welcoming of that. But with Lindsey Graham specifically, he is just angry that his pick from South Carolina, Michelle Childs, that she didn't make it to this process. And he was loud, and he was saying, hey, I'm all for diversity, count me in, I'm making it more diverse, it won't be a circuit, we're off to a good start. But then he calls out Senator Josh Hawley, and he's like, Hawley, you need to ask her about that. And he didn't have a problem with her representing Gitmo detainees, but here is another big preview. Josh Hawley, he was after her today in his opening statement, and Marsha Blackburn, she came in hot. She was loud and she was fiery, and then she ended it with her, well, congratulations, whatever happens, you made it here.
Well,
it was a little
Let's talk about that, because one of the things that came up with that was her being soft on crime. So kind of what do you say to that as to what we're going to see possibly tomorrow?
Okay.
A lot of questions of whether Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson is soft on crime.
Well, what the committee has looked at is approximately 600 judicial opinions. And remember, I said she has the most judge experience than anyone. Now, What they're specifically referring to is, I believe a few days ago, Josh Hawley sent out a tweet about these child pornography cases that she ruled on. And of 9 defendants that she had sentenced, she went below the government's recommendation and gave the minimum on the sentence on the other 2, okay? I want to point out to everyone, there is some controversy with child pornography. Because number one, some of those type of cases, you don't really know on its face how much contact a defendant has with the child because you just hear child pornography and you think the worst. And the other issue is that a lot of times when a perpetrator downloads images, you don't necessarily know it's a child. I'm not trying to make excuses, but this is just the way it works. Also, it's really important to note that her application of the government guidelines is along the lines of the majority of judges in this country. And also, in about half of the cases, the GOP that they're going to argue about, half of those, she went with the government's recommendation. So she wasn't ignoring the U.S. Attorney's recommendation. Also, we're also going to hear a lot about her time on the Sentencing Commission, because it was that 7-member Sentencing Commission that decided to reduce drug sentences. And what the Democrats are going to say is, hey, there were 3 conservative judges on that Sentencing Commission. So it's not just her.
Yeah.
But I think, listen, I'll be back tomorrow because I'm so fired up. This is like my Super Bowl. And B, expect these to go into the weeds. They're going to go into the weeds about every case. They write 600 opinions.
And they'll have to go through a lot of it.
Right?
Yeah,
it's 3 days. It's got to get done in 3 days.
Get your popcorn ready. Tomorrow is the day, and we'll have you back for Super Bowl Tuesday.
Popcorn ready.
Thank you.
Here we go.